Okay, so this is the first episode of the Soda Popcast. It was originally live streamed over on my Twitch, twitch.tv/patnet_official. It was live streamed on March 29th at 10 p.m. Pacific, and the future episode is going to be live streamed at 10 p.m. Pacific on the last Friday of every month. So if you'd like to check about live, make sure you check out the link in the description. Also, this specific episode, which happens to be the first episode, has some technical difficulties, which you will notice right away. For one, my voice is kind of slowed down so it sounds lower, and also it cuts out frequently to try to catch up with the rest of the audio. This is a problem that it was really frustrating. It only appeared on stream, so I didn't even know about it. But hey, that's what first episodes are for. So you can still hear what I'm saying. It's just gonna sound weird, and I apologize for that. Hopefully, the future episodes will be sound nicer. So that gives you more incentive to watch future episodes. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. So I hope you guys enjoy. Okay. Hello, everyone. This is Petnat coming to you with the first edition of the Soda Popcast. Hooray! This is basically going to be a podcast where we talk about video games, probably primarily Nintendo games. Also, I lost my train of thought. Sorry, 3D Spotters is chatting, and I wanted to say hi. Hi, 3D Spotters. How you doing? Okay, so this could be a podcast. Could be streamed monthly on the last Friday of every month, and we're going to talk about video games and stuff, and it's going to be so much fun. Today, I've got quite a powerful arsenal of guests. But real quick, I just realized I should have said this earlier. But today, my beverage of choice is a Sprite. Just keeping it simple. Hashtag not sponsored, but a Sprite. Just because it's what I had, and that's great. So let's go over to Tom Peeler from Sycamore Street Studios. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Oh, hey, I'm Tom Peeler from Sycamore Street Studios. Very excited to be here. My beverage of choice tonight is the only soda with a PhD, Dr. Pepper. And I have a backup, but we'll see. Oh, no. Did we have a crossover? I really was worried about that.
No, that's like my favorite soda.
That O sounded really...
okay.
Yeah.
Really
No, I was like, oh, with a PhD.
Yeah.
I was thinking your reaction was like, oh crap, I hope he doesn't meet Mr. Pibb or something.
Mrs. Pepper's baby boy went to college for 8 years, got his PhD, made soda. American dream. American dream.
All right. Well, congratulations for having possibly the best soda. I probably shouldn't say that, though, because I'm ruining any chances of other sponsorships. But let's go over to Jacob or MrViperFang. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Yes, I am Jacob, otherwise known as MrViperFang, pretty much everywhere on the internet, actually. I have a YouTube channel, I have a VidMe channel, and my soda of choice tonight is something called Baking Soda Volcano. I hope that doesn't kill me.
Is that like a local thing?
No, I was making a joke. It's actually just a cream soda.
Gotcha.
Cream sodas can taste like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Hamilton,
Oh,
why don't
crap.
you go next with
Okay.
things are
Hello,
already
guys.
crazy.
This is Owlton here, and my beverage of choice is Squirt. I was almost about to call it Sprite. Definitely don't want to do that for potential sponsorships. So
I noticed you bring that in when you were coming back on camera.
for what?
I noticed you bring that in when you were coming back on camera from getting it from your fridge or something.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Before the podcast started.
Yep.
So many things happen before the podcast started. You guys don't even know.
You guys will never know.
It's for Patreon subscribers only.
And that's at the premium $20 tier.
Exclusive access VIP.
Oh man, so exclusive. All right, well, thank you guys all for joining me. Oh geez, man, I actually haven't had a chance to think too much about what we're talking about today, but it's mainly going to be about probably Switch stuff, just because that seems to be all rage right now.
Oh,
Been in the wild for about a month. I feel like
Yep.
there's enough time to kind of reflect on it, and especially with the reaction to it. You know.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so I think right off the bat, we should establish who here has a Switch. I think I already know everyone who has a Switch so far, but Who has a Switch out of a?
Raise your switches if you have one.
Tom, you're not raising your Switch, man. No.
Is that one of those off-brand switches?
No, this isn't my phone.
Ah,
If I hold up my Wii U and call it a chunky Switch, does that count?
Yes, that absolutely
Good
counts.
enough.
Definitely.
No, wait. I got the retro skin Switch. I'll go get it real fast. It looks exactly like a Nintendo 64.
Oh,
I've
hey,
actually got a neat
Sandstone's
little
in chat.
shell for my gamepad. Let me go grab that.
Okay.
All right. Hey, shout out to Stenstone and 3D Spotters, both of which have collaborated with Elton and I in the past. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yep.
It's going to be pretty awesome.
Thank you so much.
Oh, that's
Oh,
a
that's
nice
awesome.
case. Wow.
Yay,
Are you a fan of
friends.
Splatoon?
What do you think?
I noticed recently you were doing videos on the test fire, so I didn't know like if you're like a big fan or whatnot.
I have about 5 playlists of the original Splatoon on my channel.
Very cool.
Wow.
Yep.
That's awesome. Okay, so you've clearly had a good period of time to try out the Switch. Just what are your overall thoughts about it? Like what are the ins and outs, the goods, the bads? What's up with it?
Well, the good thing is, it's basically just a portable console that's as powerful as the Wii U was, or maybe even more, possibly.
Okay.
The only thing I've had a problem with, and this is from a recording standpoint, is I think if I have the Switch on sleep mode inside the dock, it kind of interrupts the capture card a little bit, and sometimes it'll cut out on my Wii U recording a little bit.
Okay.
So sometimes if I'm setting up to record, the screen will go completely black and it'll lose the signal. I kind of solved that by actually just turning off the Switch, and I haven't had that problem. Because I have an HDMI switcher, and that's probably why it was interfering with all the other signals.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the only
But
problem
yeah.
you've experienced with it?
From a recording standpoint, yes.
Okay.
The only other problem is I don't have any games for it because I only had enough money for the Switch, and I like rent money.
Okay, I see. Yeah, that's a good thing to like also,
Yeah.
I believe.
But luckily, I've been getting by with some demos. Yeah, I've got a demo for Snipper Clips, and since the Switch is region free, I've actually got a Japanese demo for Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep.
Now,
I don't know like a Japanese, but I like the demo.
All right, 3D
like
Spotters had a great idea.
like-
He says, sip for every time someone sips.
Oh,
Wait, that's an infinite
I'm
loop,
just
right?
I'm just gonna increase my intake just to punish
Okay,
you for
guys,
watching.
just wait a second. We're gonna finish all our sodas right now.
I think he meant for like the audience, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Tell you what, 3D
So,
Spotters.
Mr. Viperfang, you basically have a soda bottle with no soda in it. How are you surviving?
It's actually alcohol. I'm drunk tonight. Fun fact:
We'll have to,
when I was buying the sodas yesterday, the cashier tried to card me, and I said, "Do I need to be carded for soda now?" He mistook it for alcohol.
If you're under
Oh,
18,
I
you
see.
can't be trusted to be responsible with sugar. So I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
Crazy
That's
sugar
very
rushes, man.
think of the children. You know,
Luckily, I'm over 18, so that doesn't apply to me.
you could be a bearded child.
That is true. You'll never know.
Ever.
Okay, hang on. Real quick, Tom, you're HERR director, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I'm gonna mod you real quick.
Oh, I'm gonna abuse this power until you regret giving it to me.
So shoutouts to Stenstone, 3D Spotters, and Tom Peeler for being one of the first mods on my channel. Figured I'd give a little reward for people showing up on the first podcast. What about like some of the things I was actually really curious about? How's like the user interface feel and stuff like that? Like, is it worse than the Switch? Or?
The user interface on the Switch is actually pretty damn good. It's smooth and it's pretty fast. Like load times in between the different menus are very minimal.
That's good.
Yeah.
Now, have
So
you got like a chance to like you said, you got demos and stuff. Have you got like looked around the eShop and stuff and see how that felt?
Yes, I have.
Awesome.
The eShop is kind of bare bones at the moment because I guess it's still the launch window.
There's
So
no virtual console, correct?
No virtual console as of yet.
What a bummer.
Yeah. I'm really sad that that GameCube never saw its way to the Wii U, especially with the GameCube port and stuff. It seemed like a total missed opportunity to me.
Yeah.
It's just part of Nintendo's fear of success and money. I just don't know when they're going to get over it. But.
It's like one of those weird Nintendo mistakes. It's like, really? Why didn't you do that? Kind of like how it took them so long to put Pokemon on the virtual console, even though that would have, I mean, it's Pokemon. Why wouldn't, I don't know. Some things I don't get.
I really hope just at the very least they're saving the GameCube ports for the Switch. I mean, I don't know. I think that'd be a really great point of attraction, you know?
Oh, yeah, that would be very good.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, you're dealing with a generational gap, or not, like a generational opportunity where people who maybe came of age with the GameCube, it's like, I have disposable income now. What am I going to buy? And they're going to go, guess what? Everything you grew up with, boom, it's now available. Oh, what's going on? I heard a boop. I heard a negative Skype boop.
Alton cut out. That messed up all that scams.
Pour one out for him.
Yep, everyone.
All right.
For Alton. And per the rules, everyone at home now has to drink.
That's true. Everyone at home, take your sip.
Oh yeah, I'm on the Japanese eShop right now.
Nice.
Wait, so you?
Yeah.
Oh, because it's
I created
region-free.
a dummy Japanese account. Yeah, region free. I have a dummy Japanese account.
That's like one of the coolest things about the Switch, I think, compared to the.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah, definitely.
It's so frustrating that they didn't do that sooner, but it's still really cool that the Switch has like mostly region free. For the time being, because I don't want to like reset up your guys' cameras just while Alton's disconnected, so I just put you guys black for a little bit. I'm sorry.
Okay.
As soon as Alton rejoins, it'll be back up. But so like okay. Oh darn! The next thing I want to talk about involved Alton. So like Tom, let's you don't have a Switch, right?
I unfortunately do not, but I know several people who do, and every time I talk to them about it, I get sad.
That's exactly how I feel. Mainly with Breath of the Wild too, man. I've tried.
I'm sorry,
to
I made you
quarantine
sad.
myself away
You made me so sad.
So Tom, is the main reason you don't have one because of money right now? Like, is that like?
Yeah. Yeah. I was actually in the process of moving, and now it's like. There was that. It just arrived at a not financially great time for me.
That
but
makes
at the
a lot of sense.
Yeah, but at the same time, see, I really would like one.
Hello.
I tried to get Nintendo consoles as close to the release as they can. Like I got a Wii at midnight first night. Wii U I got within a year. Okay. It's just like with the Switch, I am just a little hesitant because of the limited launch library.
Right. See, that's another thing I was going to ask. Like, I didn't know if that was the main reason you hadn't jumped on that ship.
Yeah. And the other thing is just, like, I have kind of developed this tendency to wait for Nintendo to... Because I think anyone who's a Nintendo fan can notice that, like, they'll release the initial console, and then maybe within a year or two, you'll get, like, you know, the improved. Like, I actually did hold out on the 3DS until... they eventually announced and released the 3DS XL with, you know, the nub for the C-stick and everything. Mm-hmm. That's when I actually invested.
Whoa!
Oh.
Hello.
Yo, bro, did you get your headphones off? Oh my gosh! Whoa! Owl.
Okay.
Good? Your seizure done? This is a great podcast. Okay.
It's the first episode. We can let problems wave a little.
Yeah. Owl, are you still here? All right. So.
Anyway, long story short, I really want one, but money and the drought of releases right now are kind of keeping me at bay for a bit. But honestly, when Splatoon eventually is released this summer, I probably will cave and buy it just because Splatoon is a wonderful game, and the
It
sequel,
is fantastic.
everything I've seen about the test fires from it was last weekend, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so definitely I'm already just like, okay, when can I get the Splatoon bundle? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't doubt that they will have one.
Yeah. Me too. Now, see, like that was one of the things I was a little bit worried about, was that in this month particularly, it didn't seem like there were too many games that I would
And he's
spend
gone
a
again.
large amount of time with. For one, it just kind of made more sense to me, like, because there's obviously the one big game, and that's Zelda. To me, it just made a little bit.
Oh, I thought you were talking about snip clips.
Well,
I thought you were
still
talking about
too.
Super Bomberman R.
You see, now, like, the main games I would play would be Zelda, and then I'd probably play Bomberman R just because I love the Bomberman franchise.
I've heard good things about it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Snipper Clips, that's kind of a smaller game, and there's just so many good smaller games out there. When you tab back in to see black screens, my bad, 3D spotters. Owlton's coming back. Once he is, we're gonna reset those cameras. Owlton, you're not back, right? Okay, so
Nope.
yeah, I just thought it's more to make more sense to me to get the new Zelda game on the Wii U, and then just kind of wait for more games to come out on the Switch. That being said, I haven't gotten Zelda yet, just because there's other things I'd put my money towards. But now, Tom, do you have Zelda on Wii U then?
I'm planning on getting it for the Wii U, honestly, because it's been so painful avoiding spoilers and everything the past month. So I honestly think I would. My sister purchased it on the Wii U. She says it's great. I know people who have tried it on both, and they're basically like, the Wii U, you lose some draw distance, but it's still a great play. So I'm probably going to get on the Wii U. Like I said, Splatoon 2 will probably be what pushes me to get for the Switch. Primarily that, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right.
So
Back.
We got.
my internet is currently crashed. I'm on my phone, and then what happened was it relogged on my computer, and I had my headphones unplugged because I plugged it into my phone.
Oh yeah,
And then
they went back and forth, and
And then and it wouldn't stop. It wouldn't turn off.
You're crossing the streams. You're not supposed to do that.
yeah. All right, well, let us know once your camera's back up, and then I could put everybody else's cameras up too.
I'm just waiting for my internet to come up, so I'm just using my phone right now. So
Okay.
Funny, I'll save you for last. 3D Spotters is saying some stuff in chat that I do not understand. He is too smart for me. So.
Oh, I'm talking to him. I'm abusing my power like I promised.
Oh, okay, excellent. That's why you're a mod. Okay,
oh my
so
gosh. Word G is so bad.
What about ARMS? Well, have they announced the release date for that yet? What was it, like spring or something? How soon is that one coming?
I think it's.
I don't remember. That one looked really intriguing to me. I actually like.
It's like early May. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna look it up.
It's actually like
that
weird
we
how
can
intriguing that
have-
game was to me. Like I was like, this doesn't look like a game I would be this excited for. Yet for some reason, watching it, I looked
Initial release date Q2 2017. So we can call that a summer release.
Okay.
Ish.
See, that might be a better time for me to get it, because I haven't really gotten a chance to play Splatoon except for test fires on the Wii U. It was fun what I played.
It's very addicting. I think it's a really great format in terms of online competitive multiplayer. It's just a very unique game, very fun variety of gameplay options, and it's paced in a way where you never get sick of it. I just think it's the simplest, but I think just one of the most ingenious things about it is that they keep the match times very short. So you're in the heat of the moment, and then when it's over, you still have that sense of exhilaration, but you're never tired out. I still enjoy most modern first-person shooters, but some of the big ones, I can say my biggest complaint is I feel exhausted by the end of a round. Like, how long was that? Like, how long did we keep going?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, from what I hear, that's kind of that's kind of like the feeling you get from Overwatch a little bit. Is that right?
Same thing. Yeah. Oh yeah. They're paced very briskly, and you're thrown into something new before you can get sick of anything. So yeah, definitely.
Well, from what I hear, it's really a good way to describe it. It's just fresh. Apparently, it's totally different from like other first person shooters, and I guess that's why it's done pretty darn well for like a Nintendo shooter, I guess.
I mean, I think what we got?
Elton crying for help? No.
No, that was no.
Okay. Let's see. What other games are coming out? Oh, Mario Odyssey. That's when I'm in super. I mean, it's Mario, but oh my gosh.
I'm so happy we're going back to. I'm so happy the 3D platformer is seemingly coming back in
great.
full swing with Ukulele this year and
Ukulele,
Odyssey.
absolutely. Oh, dude, I thought
yeah.
it was so awesome that Ukulele was coming to Switch. I mean, is that not the perfect place
great.
for that
It's
to
just-
be? It
It's
feels
just
so
like
right.
absolute good. It's
I know.
good.
Because it's like Ukulele is obviously the successor of Banjo-Kazooie, and that on Nintendo 64. It just feels right to have that back on a Nintendo system. And we will wave goodbye to Owlton once again.
Bye.
Bye, Owlton. Take one for Owlton.
Toast to Alton.
There we go. I'm sure that gets good. Oh, he's back. Take back the toast, guys. Reverse it. Spit it back into your cup.
What? Oh,
Come on,
are you
let me
doing
induce
something like
vomiting?
sip your Coke every time Owlton disconnects?
Oh my gosh, yeah, definitely. All right, well, because
Oh yeah, we have to audibly confirm when we're taking drinks because we're all blacked out. How are they supposed to keep up? Like we have to let them know.
What are you talking about? Whoa.
The game that they're going in the chat room where they're supposed to sip every time we sip. Since all the cameras are still out, right?
Yeah. They just
Well,
have
I
to
think
rewrite
I
my
answered the
systems.
question.
Just take
Oh my
like
God.
60 sips or something to try to make up for the time lost.
You're gonna have to have like so much soda. Because
Oh my gosh. All right, so yeah, like Mario Odyssey, I do think it's great that the 3D platforming is coming back. And like from what I hear, like a lot of people were just kind of saying that 3D platforming in that style, excluding like Mario 3D World and stuff, 3D platforming in that style was like kind of dead. I mean, there was no really games out for a while in that style ever since like Galaxy 2, and it's really nice to see games like Ukulele and obviously Mario Odyssey, which is coming out hopefully in December if it doesn't get delayed. Oh, I really hope it doesn't get delayed. I need that game.
I'm thinking they'll probably try to push for the holidays of this year.
Mhm.
That way they can actually sell a lot of copies of it.
Yes.
Yeah, they need that marquee Christmas title.
We're
Yep.
not doing that game until the command is there. Hey, exclamation point sip command. Oh gosh. Yeah. So
you want us to sip?
Yeah, on your remark that about the death of the 3D platformer, I'm glad it's seemingly over.
Yeah.
We had, I think it, I don't know. I think we're gonna see it. I think we're gonna start seeing it because we had almost a complete decade of indie studios kind of pumping out throwbacks to 2D
Right,
era games.
exactly,
So
yes. I
now
know
we're
where
just in
you're
the
going.
period where everyone who grew up on 3D platformers is probably old enough to start funding their own projects. A Hat in Time. Is there any
Absolutely.
confirmed release date for A Hat in Time? I have not kept up with that game in a while, but it looked super charming.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to play it.
I don't know, actually. I have not been paying attention to that one.
It's a 3D collectathon platformer built on a Wind Waker engine, I believe,
Oh, wow.
and it's got like time travel elements. So it's basically imagine Banjo-Kazooie meets Prince of Persia, and it just like everything about it looked delightful. And I remember there was a uber successful Kickstarter for it, and then
Of course.
betas and alphas, but I haven't seen a full release for it. And
Well,
It was,
I love where you're going with that. Like people have been making indie games and stuff of older generations. It's almost like we're seeing the generations like re-happen in front of us, which is awesome because we had like all those really awesome remakes of the 16-bit era and stuff and the 8-bit era, and now with Ukulele and stuff, I wonder if people are just going to start recreating those memories from their own childhoods because they're now old enough to do it themselves and whatnot. And we might get to see all the generations happening again that we already lived through right before our eyes in the indie community. And I just think that's amazing because because those 3D platforms, that's getting pretty close to my childhood. Like I'm going to be able to relive my childhood, it almost seems like, because it is true that a lot of games have changed, and it's just nice to see like indie developers making such good throwbacks and just doing it right, I guess, That's why I'm really excited
exactly.
for Ukulele. And then, of course, Mario Odyssey. It's been so long since a 3D Mario game. Even like Galaxy, both Galaxies are great, obviously. But even then, they were a little bit segregated compared to some of the other Mario games like Sunshine and 64. Like, I don't think they were necessarily as big, and it could just be because the Wii wasn't an extremely powerful system, and because they had all these new things going on, and these new items and new stars and whatnot, in this level of depth, they weren't able to kind of just make that bigger feel like they had in Mario 64 and Sunshine. So I'm really glad that Odyssey's coming out, basically.
I'm gonna light the Soda Podcast's first potential fire here. I hate Super Mario Galaxy 2's Starship Mario Hub because I like big explorable hub worlds
absolutely.
in my 3D platformers, and like Mario Galaxy had a decent one in the observatory.
Yeah.
It wasn't as fleshed out as like Isle Delfino
Absolutely.
or the castle, but it still was something.
Mm-hmm.
Planet Mario, like,
yeah,
it was just nothing. It was the same terrain, very small, and then it was just confined to the classic Mario map system, and it was just kind of like a bummer. It was like,
yes.
if you're not gonna give me all of it, just take it completely away, like Mario 3D World did, where they just locked it to paths.
Yeah, okay, so like, I'm really glad you finished your sentence there, because at first it sounded like you're saying you absolutely hate Mario Galaxy 2. Just for a little bit, and I got scared.
How
Then you
dare
finished
you?
I was like,
Got a monster
whoa, he
guy.
really meant fire. I mean, stuff would be burning harder than it would be if we were talking about politics on here, if you mentioned that. But, like, the thing about Super Mario Galaxy is that, I totally agree with you that both the hub worlds were not nearly as fleshed out as, like, Sunshine in 64, and that was a bummer. But from the looks of it, from Mario Odyssey, it's looking like it still won't be very fleshed out if my predictions are correct, because it kind of looks like that giant top hat that we've never seen before that flies around. Something tells me that's the hub world, and you just kind of choose which place to go to, essentially, basically making there not really a hub world. So that's going to be
I could see it potentially.
I just can't
being
wait
like
to
that.
explore New Donk City.
That was great. Oh my gosh, you did
That was
that in
amazing.
their memes. It's great.
I
What's up, Tom?
I
What kind of
have
fire
feelings
you
about that. I'm not an original person in making this joke, but I got the Sonic 06 vibes when that was released.
yeah.
I was
Yeah.
No,
But then
I'm
also,
still
though,
not.
wouldn't it be
It's not going to be
hilarious?
that bad.
That's the thing. I think it would kind of be hilarious if Nintendo does what Sega was so derided for doing, and they make it into some
my
gosh,
gosh.
they make it into an inevitable masterpiece.
Yeah.
And then that's just further shade on Sega.
Okay.
Like, they did this. How did you fuck this up? They did this.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not I'm not completely sold on that whole human and Mario verse connected thing either. It's
Yeah,
it's a
that
little
was
bit-
that was a little bit bizarre.
It's just unsettling, especially because they open the trailer with humans, so you're like, oh, it's not a new Mario game.
It's
And
like,
then-
oh, it's
Yeah,
Sim
yeah.
City or
And
something.
then Mario. I actually thought it was Crazy Taxi at first because like they had the Crazy Taxi.
Oh,
on the
yeah.
front.
Yeah,
And I was
because
like, I
of the
got
text.
excited
Yeah,
for that
yeah.
too. I was like, oh my gosh, it'd be so cool to have a Crazy Taxi game. But then Mario.
Although I would not
jumps out of
mind
the
seeing
sewer.
I would not mind seeing a Crazy Taxi game on the
Absolutely
Switch.
not. Oh, it'd be amazing.
that would be cool.
So
Great
good.
franchise. Absolutely great.
So yeah, anyway, I'm so excited for Mario Odyssey. I'm really hoping it doesn't get delayed. So if I don't get a Switch before then, I probably will. But if I don't, then I'll certainly get it when Mario Odyssey comes out. So now that since we have Alton for here, I don't know how much longer we'll have him. There's
Sorry.
something I actually wanted to ask him. Alton's more of a casual gamer, I would say. He
Very
doesn't-
casual.
He's pretty casual. He doesn't play a lot of hardcore things. But I wanted to know what the Switch would have to do to sell it to you. Like, let's just say you had the money and stuff, and you were thinking about buying a video game system. What would the Switch... How could the Switch provide you with stuff you need to buy it? Like, what would be important to you as a casual gamer?
That is a tough question because, like, I personally like racing games and stuff.
Mhm.
I don't know. And it seems like for the Switch to have a good racing game would be really bizarre and kind of like out there. I don't. When I think of Nintendo, I don't usually think of racing games.
Mhm.
But
And
I don't know.
part of that is because, like, the last couple systems, like the Wii the Wii remotes, that's not made for racing, obviously. And then even the
Yeah,
gamepad
like-
doesn't have analog triggers, and I don't think the Switch has it either, right? I'm relying on
I
Jake
don't
on this
know.
one.
Like basically, like like I don't want to make people really mad. I'm just a different kind of person when it comes to games.
Boo!
You
Boo!
can't
Oh,
start
you
any more
suck.
fires than Tom already did.
But like,
Oh crap.
yeah, I don't really know because it's a lot of money, and I still like only have like the PS2, and I think the newest system is the Wii, so like it would take a lot. I don't even know what it would take because yeah, I don't have a lot of money just to spend on like
Okay, so
video games, I guess.
let me try phrasing like this. You have the money for the games and
Okay.
stuff. Basically, you're just deciding which system to buy. And you could buy the Switch. What kind of games or types of games would you want on the Switch to try to convince you, basically? Like, if you were to
Okay.
do research right now, what would be your criteria for a new system?
Well, Zelda looked really awesome.
Yes, Zelda.
Yes.
All right, so criteria check 1. What's the next check? So they got that one down for sure.
See, the thing is like with games like Mario and stuff, they only keep me entertained for so long, I guess. But with this new Mario that's coming out, what is it called? Sorry,
Mario Odyssey.
Mario Odyssey. It looks so amazing.
And
Like-
you've seen, like, you have, like, a Nintendo 64, and you play a lot of Nintendo 64 games and stuff. And Mario Odyssey is kind of, in a way, a throwback to Mario 64, which, of course, is a Nintendo 64 game. Like, as far as, like, genres go, would you say mainly just, like racing is probably is one that's really important to you?
Racing would be my main category because like I do like first-person shooters, but the problem with it is like it seems like they're pretty much all the same except for like CS:GO where they have like really good balancing and stuff. So yeah, I'm mostly racing games, I guess, because
Now, what
You got
about...
Mario Kart Deluxe, April 28th.
Yeah, that's true.
That your fancy, or you need like a serious like not I'm not legitimate question.
like-
Do you need like a serious focused racing game? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, like I'm kind of in between. I like Need for Speed and
Okay.
Okay.
where there's like oncoming traffic and stuff. But like Mario Kart, I really like Mario Kart, but I feel like I need to play it with people. Like I want to go to someone's house and play Mario Kart, not just like on my own free time kind of thing.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
They do have
So-
a futuristic racing game on the eShop right now
gosh.
called Fast
Oh.
RMX.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that
It's-
basically F-Zero, but Nintendo just
Yeah, it's
okay.
it's
It
in the
hurts
same
so
vein
much.
as F-Zero.
They didn't name it F-Zero. Like, I guess at the same time, I wouldn't want them to slap a name as big as F-Zero
Yeah,
on something.
pretty much.
But it's still, it hurts that they haven't made an F-Zero game and then they make that. It's like, if you had that interest, why didn't you put it towards the greatest gaming icon of all time, that is Captain Falcon? I mean, I don't know. Hey, but that's another discussion. What do you guys think? I mean, can we even think about stuff for the next Smash Brothers, or is it too soon? Is the other one come out too,
I mean,
too
I'm,
soon?
Probably still a little too soon at this
Okay.
point.
Yep.
I would honestly be surprised if we get a new Smash Brothers before. I'm not phrasing this correctly. What I mean to say is this: I honestly expect them to give us Super Smash Brothers for Wii U Deluxe first before we even get to a new Smash
Yes,
Brothers.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
They'd probably just call it Smash Brothers for Switch or something
Okay.
like that, since
Yeah.
it'd be on the Switch.
Honestly,
And you'd get all the DLC preloaded
yes,
into it.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
If they add all that DLC, I think I'm sold. I have to, pretty much have to get it. The only thing I'm worried about is I mean, are they going to make it so that the GameCube controller adapters work for it? Are they going to make a new GameCube controller adapter, or are they going to finally
They'd have to.
bury the
They
game?
have to.
That's the thing. I feel like they have to also, even though it's almost ancient technology now. But they keep
Well,
making
Mr.
it.
Mr. Viperfang, the Switch dock that only has one USB port on the back, right?
It's got two USB ports on the
Oh, two.
side, and
Okay.
where all the cords are bundled up, there's a
Yeah.
USB 3 alongside the USB-C and the HDMI.
So since there's two USB ports right next to each other, there is hypothetically something for the
Yes.
GameCube adapter. Okay.
So that's
Yes.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that after making, excuse me, there's the downside to having soda.
I know. I keep going like.
This is going to be a theme for.
Yeah,
the
I think
rest
I
of
got all
us.
mine out of the way.
Someone should make
Sip
a
every time
compilation.
one of us.
And that's where it gets you. You
That's
think
what
you got it out of the
gets
way, and you're like, sorry.
you. Okay, so oh geez, what was I saying before that catastrophe?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, okay, so like I'm a little bit weirded out. This is one of those things where I'm just like, really Nintendo, but there's no other use. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's no other use for the GameCube controller adapter except for on Smash Bros. On the Wii U, right? As of right now. Besides PC. Besides PC.
I believe so.
Okay, now like what the heck? If they're gonna make all that,
Third
why
party.
not let it be compatible with other games? I don't know. It seems so weird to me.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that there's a third-party one that's like the Nintendo's GameCube adapter that works for Wii U and PC, and I think you can use that one for like other games, like on Steam or something like that.
Oh,
And that's
damn.
the GameCube adapter that I've got.
Okay.
I wish I'd known that.
Yeah, I think
I
I
like
got
the-
it right here. Actually.
I had to basically sell my firstborn to get a Nintendo one, but if
Oh.
I'd known a third-party one, would have been that much
is
more
it the
diverse.
Mayflash? Or am I getting that right? Mayflash?
I think it might be a Mayflash. Yeah, it's a Mayflash.
Okay, yeah.
Huh.
I've tried that
Very
one
cool.
on PC
Very
before.
cool.
It's actually really,
And it's got-
really nice to have a.
And it's got a little switcher here for Wii U and PC, so it'll work for both.
Nice.
I have used that hands-on, and I haven't had any complaints about it so far, which is good. But I mean, the Nintendo one is also pretty cool.
So just to not make anyone like super irritated or mad at me, but like, I love playing the Nintendo with people, but it's kind of like one of those systems I feel like, by myself, I'm not like super, like I probably won't play it by myself, but I love playing it with people. It's kind of like one of those things.
Well, I agree. I get what you're saying. Most of their most popular titles that do attract, multiplayer.
Couch play.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
And now, I mean, I do think though, I think there's a couple. Sometime I want to kind of sit Hamilton down and just show him a couple of first-player game or single-player games and be like, dude, just real quick, you need to try experiencing this real fast. Because I think I've seen your game library. I don't think you have the largest arsenal of great games.
You know what? I should just like take out all of the really weird PS2 games that I have and just show them to you guys, because like they're so bad. And because it's like not that I would buy them, but just like people who would get me gifts or something. Like, would just be like, oh yeah, this is pinball, it's super cool. And I'm like, oh, okay, thanks. Pinball.
Alright, 3D spotters, have a good night. Sorry it's so late for you, but I'm glad you could stay for a little bit. One for you, my friend.
I threw away my bottle. Oh crap!
Peace out.
Just do an air sip. Okay,
I've
so
got a mug here.
Yeah, like, I mean, you have Mario Galaxy 2, though. If you really want to... Oh, okay, so, yeah, get this. This is kind of a funny story. Owlton used to have a Ocarina of Time cartridge.
Don't
And
even.
he sold it on eBay, so rip.
Aw.
Okay, so me and my brother sold it because we didn't like the game, because we didn't know how to play it.
That's the big rip. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we weren't too smart. I don't think I ever got the money for it, actually. I don't know what happened to it.
If it makes you feel any better, in 2002, when I was in my teenage phase of like, Nintendo games are dumb, they're for little kids, I sold my entire N64 library, which was like 20-ish games, all of the first party key titles and everything. Sold that and the console and 3 controllers to GameStop, got I think $40-ish dollars. And
wow!
I bought Grand Theft Auto Vice City with it, and I'm not ragging on Vice City. It's honestly my favorite game of that series. But back then I was like, so worth it. And now when I think about it, I'm like, you.
It's like,
Idiot.
you idiot!
Yeah, seriously.
And
Seriously.
GameStop
And-
was like, yes.
I've been slowly buying them back for years. Last year I just got Mega Man 64 back, which had I known how much of a pain in the ass it would be to rebuy that game alone, because that one's very hard to find, and people who do have it, they know how hard it is to find.
And they don't want to sell it.
Yeah.
That's the thing about a lot of old Nintendo games. They rarely ever decrease in price.
I know, it's so painful.
over time.
Yeah.
Like pretty much every Nintendo 64 game, like, I don't know the exact figures, like, some of the cheapest ones that are actually good, like, I'm not talking about, like, crappy movie games or whatnot, like, the cheapest ones that are actually good and popular and stuff, they're always, like, so expensive for, like, how much it is, like, something like Banjo-Kazooie, you know, that one, like, I remember seeing that at conventions, it's like, oh, really? That's the price? Like, and then I looked up online, like, oh, it's more expensive
That's
everywhere
the
else.
price.
And then I realized, well, rip my dream of collecting every cartridge, because those things are
Yeah.
expensive now, which kind of stinks. But hey,
I
speaking
think
of, oh, sorry, go on.
I think my regret with selling something to GameStop was Tetris DS.
Oh no!
Yeah, I did
Oh.
that like a couple years after its release, and I kind of got lucky when I bought it because of the price, but it just kept going up, and I thought, well, goodbye ever wanting to get it back.
Oh yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah.
One that's always kind of kicking you in the privates is the Metroid series. Like every Metroid game, man. Oh, that's a pain. Driving crazy.
I have all 3 Prime games. I'm
Nice.
lucky I
Yes,
have them.
I have them too, and I'm very happy about that. I also have the Prime Trilogy, which, by the way, if anyone hasn't tried the Prime games, totally, I think that's the way to play is the Prime Trilogy.
Oh yeah.
The new play control just helps so much, especially because it wasn't dual stick on GameCube, which was really annoying.
It's also available digitally on the
It's
Wii
also
U
available
for
digitally
$20.
on Wii U. There you go. $20 instead of like $80, which you can get at GameStop. So that's good.
Yep.
Yeah, that and Xenoblade I know are very expensive in disc form.
Xenoblade, man. That's
That
the
is
one
why I
gotta
bought
try sometime.
Xenoblade on the Wii U. I have it digitally, so I don't have to worry about the cartridge or disc. Cartridge.
That's what's like kind of nice about all these remakes, and I know like sometimes they get some crap and stuff because they're kind of just releasing the same game. But it's like sometimes, you know, I mean, games really do get like harder to find because they break or they just become more expensive. So it's
And it makes it accessible for people who like either haven't played the game or played it before but don't have the system anymore.
excuse me, and like I think Nintendo has done a pretty darn. Excuse me, there's another one. I think Nintendo's done. Golly. I think Nintendo's
Hey,
done.
Patrick, you might need to like
Take a
go away
break.
for a second. Just
Should I just like
A breather.
the camera? Okay. So
gosh, don't ever do that again.
You have to rethink the format of this podcast.
what time is it? I need to remember this time
Welcome
stamp.
to the Soda Burp podcast, where we burp after drinking our sodas.
Oh my god. Okay, so 48 minutes in, I gotta make a highlight of that or something. Okay, what was I even saying? I was saying like I think Nintendo's done a pretty darn good job at remaking their games generally. Some prime examples are like Mario 64 for the Nintendo DS, which doesn't get a lot of attention anymore. But
Yeah.
the thing about that game is that like it was like Mario 64, so I think that, like the two key formulas for remaking a game is like keeping the same and then adding more. I think that's like I think you can't go wrong if you get those two right, and that's really what Super Mario 64 from the Nintendo DS did. Is they kept the everything from Mario 64 pretty much, and then they added like new characters with unique powers and stuff, and then they added even more stars. They added more boss fights and stuff. And to me, it really is. There's gonna be an exception, but it really is to me. If I'm getting rid of all nostalgia and stuff, it's kind of the better game than Mario 64. There's an exception though that might make it not the better game. Is that the DS doesn't have an analog stick, So
It's funny
platforming-
because I've been like trying to find an avenue to say this.
Yeah.
Play it on the if you ever get a chance to acquire a new 3DS XL, play it because the analog stick defaults as the D-pad. So if
really?
you set it to D-pad controls, you can make them run in a much more fluid, similar to N64 era manner.
D-pad? What do you mean?
So like there's in Mario 64 DS there are multiple control options, and one of them was that you could set the movement to the D-pad and then like do the jump like you could play it like this, but it was much more difficult than just using the stylus. So if you set it to that control scheme while playing on a new 3DS XL with its analog nub,
I see what you're saying.
this defaults to the D-pad, and then they can move a lot more fluidly.
Now, but is it still like
neat.
is it still more than 8 directional though? If you do that,
I mean, it's almost akin to what their movements were in the N64 version. I'll just say that. Like it's a little less refined, but it's more comfortable than.
because I've played it on on my 3DS and stuff. But the thing is, are you saying that you were able to put like touchscreen controls to the stick? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just taking I mean, I could boot it up and read it precisely, but there's another control style where everything would normally be assigned to the D-pad, but the 3DS takes it over and goes, "No, I'm putting it on the nub," and then that's what.
Oh, it puts it on the nub. Okay.
Yeah.
And are you saying the nub feels nice? Is that what you're saying?
The nub feels nice.
But I mean, but is that the stick you're talking
Yes,
about?
it feels more fluid. It does feel more fluid.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I wonder why that is. Why the feels better than the regular one?
I think it's just a nice kind of accident, that when they letting the console be backwards compatible, its controls actually fixed maybe a subjective issue.
Yeah.
Has anyone played the Wii U port? I know that the 3DS game got put.
No.
I saw the completionists, or I should say the Bureau's Let's Play series on it, and they were saying that the controls still kind of felt unnatural because it was still just 8 directional, which is like up or upright or right down or down and stuff like that. And that's why I didn't know. Like, are you still feeling that when you played with the new 3DS?
Nah, I didn't have any frustrations personally.
I wonder if because the C-stick is so small, if it's like you don't really notice it, and I wonder if that's why it's a good thing.
I'm just doing this. I'm just gonna.
I actually have a Let's Play series of this on my channel right now, and I've just been.
I know,
playing
yeah.
with the D-pad.
I've been watching.
Really?
I watch.
And that series has given me like a new perspective on that game. It really is like crazy how much more they added than Mario 64. It's just like there's this one thing that's really holding it back, and that's the controls. It's like the system. But it's like, can you really fault the game for that? That's because it was just kind of the system's fault. It's like it's hard to critique the game because of the way the system plays. But at the same time, your overall experience is worse because of it. So it's like maybe it should. I don't know. Actually, I think that's a bit from a future video, so maybe I shouldn't talk about it anymore. But oh, that's right. There's a future video that might include one of us here. Who knows? 2 of us here. I mean, including me. We know who we are. But yeah, so basically, Nintendo's done some really good remakes. I think like Wind Waker HD was another really nice one. Even though that one was more graphical, I don't think they really added much. It's still, like, the graphics were crazy much better. Like, it was like a whole new experience. Twilight Princess HD remake. It looks better, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, it's hard to release that after Wind Waker HD because Wind Waker HD was such a big difference. Twilight Princess, you can't really change a ton to make it. I mean, Wind Waker you could change a ton. You can't really change a ton of regular Twilight Princess. So I feel like that's why that one kind of got a little bit, just a little bit of a messy reputation. But it's still 1080p. That's nice, and of course, the textures looked much better than before.
Yeah.
Also, just the new play control. If anyone was kind of just sick of swinging the remote, which a lot of people are, you could then play with the gamepad. So I guess that's something. But then again, you could just play GameCube anyway. So it's like, I don't know.
There's also a Hero Ganon mode.
There's also Hero Ganon mode. That's true. And that's the thing. They added more. It's kind of like I said, you keep the same, and then you add more. You know, that one did kind of add more with the whole new like Cave of Ordeals, except it wasn't called Cave of Ordeals, something else. And then they added like the different kinds of modes you could do with the amiibos and stuff. So that was kind of neat. Overall, I think it's cool, but I can kind of understand where some people are going with when they're getting a little upset about it, because it's not like a huge difference. But I think the main thing is the resolution change. I think that really helps a lot, and I don't think a lot of people realize that, unfortunately.
I sincerely hope the Switch gives us a HD remake of Skyward Sword that takes out the motion controls. I don't know if that's going to be another fiery opinion, but...
No.
I actually did not mind the motion controls.
Yes, I'm definitely on Jacob's boat with that, but I totally understand them getting rid of it, like if they wanted to. Because I personally had no trouble with it, but I understand a lot of people did.
Want me to show you this real quick?
Yeah.
Put this finally turned on. All right, so
you're acting like you might waste our time. Your time can't be wasted.
Yep, I got time.
How good have you seen the gameplay?
Looks okay.
It looks alright. So
I know it's not gonna be great because I gotta. All right, so
you mean you're not gonna start capturing it?
This reminds me of a YouTube video I once watched.
So I'm trying to play this backwards and in a reflection, but I'm just trying to show you. Like, as you can see, it's mapped to the analog stick.
Okay, and you don't feel like the direction's limited at all.
Nah, like
interesting.
See, like I'm.
Oh, that's Mario. Just kidding.
No, that's good. You know, okay, so like everyone's always saying they want like a Mario 64 remake, and I think a lot of times people just forget about the DS one because I don't know, people forget about that one a lot.
They did that already.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think the game that really needs it more is a Super Mario 64 DS remake. You probably don't want to call it that. You probably just want to call it Super Mario 64 remake. But basically, if they just keep what they already added to the DS version, put it on a home console, made it all HD, made those controls feel solid, maybe add some more stars, maybe add another character or something, that would be great. I just really hope, because there's a big possibility they might remake Mario 64. I mean, I should say there's no actively like wrong reason to not remake it. So like, I just really hope they don't totally ignore what they did to 64 DS, and I really hope they implement some of those into this one. But one can only dream, unfortunately.
The game is over 20 years old at this point.
Yeah, that's
wow.
Crazy to think about.
Yeah, Mario 64 originally came out in '96.
Gotta get all that disposable income from those grown-ups.
Yeah.
You like this?
It's true. I think like the game that needs to remake the most, but it'll never happen. It'll absolutely never happen. But Donkey Kong 64, I think really needs a remake just because there's so many problems with it right now. I personally think at least.
Oh my gosh, like the speedruns that are like done in like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Or something crazy. It's like, oh, I glitched through a wall and I won the game.
Yeah, you know, like Banjo-Kazooie is getting a successor. Banjo-Kazooie is getting that. I really would like something like that, or maybe a remake for Donkey Kong 64, because there's so many good concepts there. But there was also just a lot of really apparent mistakes, and it was a shame that it.
I remember that game as a kid, and I didn't know you were supposed to shoot like your coconut gun like at the things that were attached to like over the like the gates and stuff. I was like, oh look, there's like little buttons up there with the coconut symbols. I'm like, oh okay, what is that? I never knew how to play any of the games. I think that's what ruined a lot of my like childhood experiences. Like I didn't read anything, I just go through a game and then we're like, oh, I don't know what to do now, and it just stopped.
Didn't you say like you didn't know how to find the sword in Ocarina of Time, or Ocarina of Time? How was it?
We weren't allowed to play. For a certain point in time, like we weren't allowed to play that game for some reason,
and
or we lost.
Couldn't find the sword, right? I think you remember saying like you would look for the sword and you couldn't find it, even though it's just under like a thing.
We were like super. We're like, we have never played this game before. Let's make sure it works, and if we don't like it, let's just sell it so we can get a different game. That was our mindset, and then that was it.
And that's
Hey,
how-
Pat.
Yeah. What's up?
Quick, we
That
play a
is my-
game real quick?
Absolutely.
play a game real quick?
I love games. What
Okay.
is it?
Because I want to see. I faced a lot of ridicule in my life because, I set in my mind when I first played. Well, I'm just gonna right now for Zelda 64. Many races and locations in the game. The first pronunciation I cooked up in my head as a child. That's what I stuck with my whole life. And then I would run into people later, in college and stuff, and they're like, "Wait, what do you call them? That's not how you pronounce that." And it's just so you had this.
I totally understand.
You had
I
this
totally-
beat. You had this beat
Yeah.
where you corrected yourself just now between ocarina and ocarina. So I'm gonna play a game really quick.
All
I'm
right.
gonna throw a couple things out, and I want to see what the room thinks before I tell you what I.
All right.
So
Go for it.
all right.
Okay.
What is the race of childlike elves with fairies that Link grows up within?
Kokiri.
Kokiri. I think Kokiri. Sometimes I mess up and call it Kikiri. Is there, what could you call it besides Kokiri?
I call them the cockery. Yeah, I did. I legitimately
Okay.
did.
So
I legitimately did. And with like I get to college and it's like it's Kokiri. Why would you pronounce it like that? I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, it's just what I did.
What about Pokemon?
Okay, what
That's
is
another one?
what
So
is
many-
the race of the desert dwelling female ninjas?
Gerudo?
I think, to be honest, I usually accidentally call him Gerudo, even though I know I think it's Gerudo. No, I call it Gerudo. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not
Okay,
good
wait.
at this game. I'm already losing.
Is that the thing that we did the video on the music
Yeah, that's for
for
the
this stuff?
Gerudo Valley song. Yeah.
From what
Okay.
From what I've been led to understand, the correct pronunciation is Gerudo.
Really?
But I like you, Pat. When I was young, I pronounced it like Gerudo. Like
Yeah.
I made the G a lot, like I guess harder or softer than what it actually should be.
Yeah,
I
Um,
bet.
I used to call him Gerudo as well, so I'm
Right.
in the exact same boat on that one.
But you get people who get really pissy about it. It's like, you pronounce
Yeah.
it like that. What are you doing?
It's like, who
Alright,
cares?
if you're gonna get
Like, I
if you're gonna get that
mispronounced
pissy about it, then I'm just gonna pronounce it incorrectly in front of your face every time.
Dude, you should just do that like all the time, except emphasize it.
Yeah.
No, I hear you completely.
Just to make people
I'll just
mad.
pronounce it Gerudo.
Okay, wait. So real quick, how does everyone in the room pronounce Pokemon?
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Pokemon
Got a
Go.
Pokemon.
I say
Pokemon.
pokey, like I say pokey.
I say
like-
I say Pokey.
Okay.
Pokemon.
I think that according to Jaywitt's video, I think it's actually Pokemon. But I still
yeah,
haven't
yeah.
changed my vocabulary to that yet.
Pokemon.
Oh, that's true.
I
That's it.
believe grammatically that is the correct pronunciation. I just
Okay.
think
Yeah.
it's a regional thing that I grew up with that I put more like. For me, it's pokey like Gumby's horse. You know.
Yeah, I definitely
Gumby's
pronunciate.
I think Pokemon is just one of those cases where like different pronunciations are widely accepted and no one really gets too mad about
That's
it.
Arceus is the hardest.
Yeah.
Hot
Yeah.
Dog says that he or she had a ocarina in real life, or ocarina. Darn it! What? I don't know what it's called.
Ocarina, potato.
Actually, I have a friend who also has one, and he was quite good. I think he's one of the he's kind of like one of those guys who kind of gets something and moves on from it after. But he was pretty good at it when he liked it and stuff. This has nothing to do with the podcast. Let's move on. What other is there? We're actually getting closer. We're back past an hour. So is there any like last discussions someone wants to have that branch off like?
I think the Switch I think it'd be interesting just to talk real quick about the reception the Switch had and what that could lead to its future. I don't know how much anyone was paying attention to like sales data and stuff, but I did see a lot of positive reports from Nintendo and certain vendors. Nintendo claimed it was their fastest selling console of all time, and GameStop, I read in a report, confirmed that by their standards, it's already on track to outsell the Wii in its entire lifetime, which I was like,
Wow.
wow,
Yeah.
1 month.
I mean, that's-
Jeez.
to be
Consider-
fair-
That's
yeah,
huge.
To be fair, that's not
Yeah.
saying like the biggest thing in the world. Figuring the Wii U didn't sell very well, but that is
Right.
certainly
Oh,
a
the
good
Wii
sign.
U or the Wii?
No, the
The
Wii
Wii
U,
U. Wii
not
U.
the
Oh,
Wii.
the Wii.
No, no,
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
definitely.
I'm very sorry.
Definitely.
I thought it was the Wii. I was like, dude,
Yeah,
like
sorry if I
everyone has a
misspoke.
Wii.
Very sorry if I misspoke. I didn't mean the Wii U.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because the
Yeah.
Wii
I
that
didn't-
sold like that sold like bubblegum or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's,
I believe
bubblegum
I believe
have
this.
We have a Wii and we don't buy systems. Me and my brother. So like,
now.
I don't know.
I think I heard somewhere that Nintendo is actually going to be doubling their production of the Switch from like 8 million to 16 million for the year. So
That's
So
pretty
now-
confident.
that's looking very good.
One thing that kind of bugs me about Nintendo though is that
Oh, hey,
they've been-
just to confirm real quick, the total Wii U sales are at 13.5 million
okay.
lifetime. So the fact that the Switch is already on pace to outbeat that for Wii U in
That's
a
true.
month is pretty
That's-
impressive.
Yeah, especially because like okay, so I honestly think a huge problem with the Wii U, and I think I mean, I'm no corporate guy. I mean, I say hashtag not sponsored and stuff. I'm no corporate guy, so like, I don't know how much of a fact this actually is, but I think naming it Wii U was probably a bad decision because like a lot of people I talk to,
yeah.
like
They thought it was an add-on
yeah,
for the Wii,
exactly.
right?
They just thought like, oh,
Yeah.
this is just like an extension. I already have a Wii. You know, why would I grab this big chunky gamepad thing? You know, especially because all the controllers were the same too, which also I think.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah,
Nintendo.
so they can't sell new controllers. They can't. I mean, the only thing new is like the D-pad, and then it's better graphics.
Mhm.
Its
Different
marketing
games, I guess.
had a very similar color scheme to the Wii, and I know that sounds
That's-
kind of silly, but
no,
it's really
plays
not
no-
different.
Yes.
Really not different enough.
I know, absolutely, and I think that was a big problem, unfortunately. Now with the Switch, though, one thing that kind of bugs me about Nintendo is that they have a history of selling out of like things, and it kind of bugs me that they sold out on the Switch and kind of advertise that as a good thing, like, oh, the Switch is so good, we sold out. Yeah, you sold out, just like you sell out on absolutely everything, because you never make enough for anybody.
Yeah.
Like
The nice-
every single amiibo, like it's sold out.
The thing about the Switch at the Best Buy, I went to pick up my pre-order. The associates said that there was plenty for everybody in line who didn't get a
Really?
pre-order. So pretty much everybody who was in line was able to get one,
Well, that's good.
which
That's
I
good.
thought was very nice.
Yes.
And there was like 50 or 60 people in that line, so everybody went home happy, I guess.
That's good.
That's
That's
good.
good.
It's still
Yeah,
weird
but,
though that they try to use that as a selling point though. Like they said
Well,
stuff on
Better
the,
get them when they're still coming.
yeah, exactly. It's kind of an annoying mentality, but like it's good that I'm still glad it's doing better than the Wii U because the Wii U was kind of an embarrassment if you look at it from a console standpoint. I mean, it had some good games obviously, but like it felt like
Oh,
it never
yeah.
really got the gamepad's full potential when playing because like not a lot of systems or not a lot of games utilized its features and whatnot, and is kind of
Right.
sad. But anyway, Tom.
Well, to your point about Nintendo's sales presentation that they're making, and that goes back to their earliest years. If you read the Blake Harris book Console Wars that details the Sega Nintendo rivalry in the late 80s, early 90s, Nintendo's short supplying and then like, you know, kind of saying, oh, like look how fast this went. And that's gone back to their earliest years of
Yeah.
operating in the video game industry. So it's just, they're admittedly not great method of controlling their own reputation.
Yeah. Hot Dog says, I went to Best Buy and there was nothing, and then Hot Dog also says bye. Goodbye, Hot Dog. Thank you for joining us.
Bye, hot dog.
Goodbye, hot
There is
dog.
nothing, and I am in that nothing. Bye-bye.
He's probably going to buy a Switch right now. because there's nothing at Best Buy.
He's going, yeah.
If you're still here, though, thank you for joining, even for the short period of time you did. Or long period, I don't know. No, that sounded mean a little bit. Anyway, so, yeah, I'm really hoping that the Switch does better for the Wii, because when a console does better, it's better for everybody, unless it's a really crappy console, which I don't think the Switch is.
And then yeah.
So real quick, I know we're getting close to overtime here, but like, what was your thoughts on you got Joy-Cons, right, Viper?
Yeah, it comes with the Joy-Cons.
Yeah, right. Okay, so like, well, what are your thoughts on those? Because from the looks, I never felt it, and I wish I felt it, but from the looks, doesn't look too much different from like a Wii remote, except kind of smaller, but it has a joystick, which is nice. Then of course more buttons. Is there anything that really stands out as like really good about those that didn't come with the Wii remotes?
It feels a little bit better than the Wii remote. Like for my hands, I can hit all the buttons just right if I'm holding it like vertically, or if I'm holding them horizontally, it's just basically a mini gamepad. And I only played the Global Test Fire with the Joy-Cons in the dock, and it just felt like a regular controller to me.
Have you had any of the sync issues with the left Joy-Con that have been reported on in the news?
Not yet.
Okay, cross your fingers.
And just to make sure I didn't, I recalibrated my Joy-Cons after every test fire session, so I made sure I didn't have that problem.
That's good.
Smart.
Now, okay, so real quick, what about screen scratching? 'Cause I know that was also a problem.
I do have a solution for that. When I heard that was happening, I found one of my old lens cleaning cloths, and I put that draped over the dock so my screen wouldn't get scratched. Because screw buying a screen protector right now because money.
Well, there's an emerging Etsy market for screen socks. I saw for like $20. No, it's seriously, they'll knit you like a Nintendo themed. There's one where it's just Kirby, so like you can wrap Kirby around your dock. Everything.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, I think it's pretty messed up though that Nintendo didn't. I mean, that seems like such an apparent, obvious problem, having the screen get scratched from sliding it into the system. And when your remaining Zelda point is, click
I
and
think
switch,
it's in like in extreme cases when they're not just paying attention to how it's going in, like they're pushing it too close to a certain part of the dock.
Or like rage quit, like, I'm done with this.
Yeah, pretty much.
So now, like, how does putting it in the dock feel? Does it feel like it's like getting secure?
This is my little solution right here.
There you go.
It's nice
do yourself.
Cool.
Now wait, wouldn't the cloth slide out when you put it in though?
I hold on to the cloth when I put it in.
This guy's thought of everything.
Oh yeah.
So like,
just get some Velcro straps, and then
Velcro straps. Okay, so like, from what I've seen though, when you put like the dock, what's kind of holding the tablet in the dock, basically?
What's holding tablet in the dock?
Like, does it like click, and if you tip it over, it doesn't fall out, or like how does it stay?
No, it falls out if you tip it over. It's just being held in place by you. There's a little mechanism in there that reveals the USB-C socket in there, and it just fits right in there.
Interesting. So like, the only thing that's holding it in really is the plug, then.
Yeah, pretty much. It's really just a place to hold the Switch when you're having it in TV mode, pretty much.
Gotcha.
Interesting. Now, I saw like a GIF going around of someone having the kickstand out, putting it in the dock while the kickstand out, and the kickstand.
I've done that a couple of times, but luckily I don't put it in too rough, so I'm able to notice it, so I can put the kickstand back in.
How is the kickstand? Like, is it?
It's pretty good, actually.
Okay. It just like snaps off if you put it in.
Yeah, it snaps off, and underneath it is the micro SD slot.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where they put it.
Oh, interesting. Is that?
Yeah, it's in there deep enough to where the SD card won't get damaged.
Okay.
That's
good.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of a nice way to save space. You don't have to create another tab.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now, wait, what kind of SD card does it accept again? Was it micro?
Micro SD. And it says it's supposed to go up to 2 terabytes, but they don't make 2 terabyte yet. So I guess when they start making them for that capacity, that it'll support it.
Okay. All right.
But I think for right now, maybe like a 200 gig or 256 gig would be your best bet for external storage like that.
Okay. I'm really hoping there's going to be like more, because storage is like a whole nother discussion.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people worries about that, and I'm hoping there's going to be a lot more third-party stuff at least that can help that, or first-party, but like
they'll address it in the Switch Slim. coming
Switch.
2019.
Switch slim. How can they get slimmer
Yeah.
than that? Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, the
This
base
time you don't need a
capacity
dock.
is the base capacity is 32 gigabytes. So
heard-
that's
I heard
really
the,
not gonna last very long.
I heard the
Yeah.
system
Yeah.
software takes up a good chunk of that.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh man,
let
that's a bummer.
me check.
That reminds me of like an Android phone, like.
Okay, I might be stupid to ask this, but like, how do you, like, how do the games work? Like, is it a separate cartridge, or do you download
Yeah.
it, or
Okay.
what is
So
it?
it's a cartridge, right? It's like kind of like an SD card, and it's kind of interesting because like in the old days, discs people moved to discs, they could fit more storage now, but nowadays like you get terabyte flash drives that are like the tiniest thing. Cartridges are kind of just like catching up to discs, so I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing they're going to cartridges for the Switch.
No, I don't think so either.
I do think
It's a manufacturing cost thing though,
yeah.
because Blu-ray discs hold up to 50 gigs themselves, and they're a little bit easier to manufacture
Yes,
than
that's the thing.
like specific.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not just a cartridge; it's a specific type of cartridge only for the Switch. It's not like it's a universal
Yes.
format.
Now,
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's what makes me a little bit worried about third-party developers who don't necessarily know how to handle it. And I know Nintendo's always, or recently, in recent years, they've been trying to open up more to third-party stuff, especially like showcasing all their indie games and whatnot, letting Ukulele on the Switch, for an example. But I'm worried about how the cartridges might affect their chances of having more third-party support on their system, because
It's already happening in a way. I don't know if you've read, but so Minecraft Story Mode is coming to the Switch, and the edition is coming with all of its DLC packaged in it. Now, this is already out on the Xbone and the PS4, I believe, and I think it's $40 retail. And I believe I read on Polygon that it's coming to the Switch for full retail price. And it comes down to Switch lets the manufacturers set the price, and because they have to produce custom, cartridges for this release, that's why it's being sold like at $59.99 versus where it's cheaper on other consoles. And it's already just kind of a point of contention. It's like, so every port, like how much is Skyrim going to cost when it comes to?
Oh my gosh, Skyrim! That's like a whole nother thing. So it's kind of stinks though, because the Wii U also had pretty poor third-party support. I mean, people look at the gamepad and they say, I don't know what to do with this. Like, how do I put Madden on this gamepad? I mean, obviously Madden came out on the Wii U, but like, so the gamepad was such different technology. It's like, well, why don't you just keep things simple, like with the Xbox and PS4? And like, it's obviously, I'm not saying it's a bad thing that when Nintendo does new innovations like that try to change things up, but it does worry me that like even for like the launch window, there was like a lot of indie games, right, that are coming out soon or have already come out, but those are all like downloaded on the thing, and there's not a lot of third-party support for third-party support for the launch window already. So it is worrisome that and I'm worried the cartridges might make that worse, especially because right now everything else is discs or digital. But
I think it's just going to come down to sales. The reason that EA bailed on the Wii U is because they were willing to try it, but there was no audience for it. That's what, and like Warner Brothers Interactive, they pulled the DLC for Batman Arkham Origins. Even if people had already pre-ordered it, they were like, "Man, we're not releasing this on the Wii U because like they got refunds, but obviously, they were just like, no one bought the game, so we're not releasing the DLC." So, I think this first run of ports and third-party support that Nintendo are boasting about, it's cool that they have it, but people have to buy them, and if it doesn't, like Bethesda probably won't make another game beyond Skyrim, the Skyrim port, and
And I mean, it's honestly, I think it's very possible for them to even, at some point, like I mean, it's not very possible. But I do think there's certainly a possibility, if things go really bad, that even Skyrim itself might get canceled, because they haven't like shown anything. They've hardly even talked about it so far. they've only shown like footage of.
If the Skyrim port goes down, that's gonna be gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt bad.
Yeah.
Like that was part of the teaser. It was
I know.
Breath of the Wild and Skyrim.
I know. But it's like not even the developer went out to the Switch presentation and stuff. Like they had all these other ones. He had to do like the post video thing. It makes me worry a little bit because they talk so little about it, and if things go very poorly, I do think that's a possibility. I mean, it's not like I don't think it's like probably going to happen or anything, but I'm worried that it's a possibility that there might not be a portable Skyrim, which is the main thing I'm excited for, because this would be the first time you'd be able to take Skyrim with you on the go. Like,
that would be so cool.
I honestly would not mind playing Skyrim on the go, regardless of, or if it has mod support or not, because it's a nice game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just play wherever.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's like
the system. The system with I think including the space taken up for the system, it's like 7 gigs of space taken up, so it's like 25 gigs free.
Yeah, you're down that much already.
Yeah.
Oh, how long does it last, like for battery life?
I have not done any tests like that yet, because I've mainly kept it in the dock most of the time.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is that it varies from game to game. So
yeah,
from what they said in the presentation, and this is so bizarre to me, but the presentation it ranges from 3 to 6 hours, which is quite a big range, and so I guess this is really going to depend on the game. A game like Breath of the Wild is probably going to drain around the 3-hour mark, but like snipper clips, maybe you might get some more playtime.
It'll probably be in like the 5 or 6 hour range for snipper clips.
And I think a part of that is just because having a portable system, you gotta cut back on certain things, and I do think one of the things to cut back on is definitely power.
When they say 6 hours, is it just be like on the home screen kind of thing? You think, we left it on the home screen? Or is it actually going to be like you can play a game for 6 hours?
Hopefully it's a game. I think like the home screen would take up more like 9 to 10 hours if it's just nothing but the home screen.
Gotcha.
And like menuing through the system menus and stuff like that.
That's good. All right. Well, we've gone a little bit over. Is there any last minute? Is there any last minute? Not last minute, but like any other thing that you want to bring up that could branch off somewhere?
Favorite Nintendo 64 games?
Oh jeez. Maybe
Majora's Mask.
Oh, I forgot. Of course, Majora's Mask is pretty darn good. Oh, that's toughy.
Oh yeah.
I've been actually playing that. I just got the 3DS remake recently, and I've been playing that.
I lost my copy of the 3DS version.
Oh no! That version's so good too.
I know.
It's so polished.
I only had made it to the second dungeon, and I'd lost the copy, and I can't find it now. I'm sad.
Okay. Wait. After you lost the copy, 3 days after, did you try playing Song of Time so you could try to find it again?
Fuck! Damn it!
Well,
I knew I was forgetting to do something.
Yeah, I've been playing that one a lot.
I got one for you. I got one. Okay. The worst level in Super Mario 64.
Dry desert.
Really?
I feel like maybe one of the water stages, like Dire Docks.
I honestly didn't mind the water stages.
Rainbow Road I thought was really cool, but it was also like insanely brutal and maybe too much.
It is definitely brutal, but
what is the second floor water level where depending on how high you jump into the painting is how high the water is raised when you enter it?
What's that called? Wet Dryland? I think that's it.
Possibly.
Wet Dryland.
Yeah.
That's my least favorite because even that's why I can't remember the name. I don't think of it as much of a level because it's such a it's just here's a bunch of random platforms that aren't connected in any tangible way. What can we do? A water gimmick. Yeah. So
I actually thought it was a neat little gimmick. Depending on where you entered the picture,
and now
the water level
cool.
changed.
Oh, that's undeniably cool for what that was at the time. I'm just saying, like, if you take that away, it's just I don't know. It's
Now,
I think it's a mess.
I think like the premise of that level, I like the idea of water rising and stuff. But you jump into the pan and you control where you want to go and whatnot. But I always find myself not wanting to do that level, and I think that a lot of that's just because Nintendo 64, or I should say those ages, water levels were not, they were new, so it's like 3D water levels, I should say. And I think that I just often find myself not wanting to go in that one, even though I like the concepts. But like any of the water ones, I would probably go with. But I kind of like this idea of picking stuff. I might do this every time. Just have everyone bring a question beforehand to close with. That's a good idea.
Oh, okay.
All right, Viper, you're on the spot. You got anything?
I don't know.
All right, that's close enough to question. Okay, wait, I got one. What's your favorite water level? And level can mean almost anything, but like any kind of body of water in video games that you enjoy.
I have 2. I have 3.
Okay. Go for it.
Okay, I'll go from 3 to 1. I'll do it countdown wise.
All right.
Number 3, Jolly Roger Bay, Banjo-Tooie. Number 2, anything involving Zorlink and Majora's Mask. And number 1,
Yeah.
all of BioShock 1.
Gotcha. Right. Those are all good choices. I'm not sure anyone can top that.
Right.
What about you, Elton? You got any crazy like racing games that have like underwater tunnels or something?
Yeah, not crazy games, but I had a game, Hot Wheels, that did that. That wasn't good.
Hot Wheels is crazy, man.
No.
What
I don't
about-
know. I'm trying to think.
You got one, Viper?
Yeah, I've actually got 3, and they're all Legend of Zelda related. Number 3, the Water Temple in Ocarina of Time, the swimming stuff in Majora's Mask with Zora Link, and
It's so good.
and the sailing stuff in Wind Waker.
Oh, there you go.
Boom. Boom.
You win.
I did not have any problems with the Water Temple like everyone else did. Apparently, I'm just a weird person like that.
There's a really great YouTube series called Boss Keys by a guy named Mark Brown, where he goes through each of the Zelda games and talks about the dungeon design. And if you actually just sit back and listen to him go over what the game design mechanics of the Water Temple are, you realize, oh, this is actually a masterpiece that people have been bitching about for the past 20 years. It's like it is admittedly challenging, but when he talks about why it's challenging and you actually look at its structure, you're like, oh, like, wow. Like, I don't know. It's neat taking a step back and seeing it in a broader picture.
All right, well, that can't start any fires because we're just talking about water stuff. So now
Yeah, just
all
puts it out.
horrible jokes aside, I think I'm about ready to close this thing. I don't want to go on too long.
Okay.
But thank you guys all so much for joining. This was a lot of fun. If you guys
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
starting with the person on the, I'm trying to point from the layout that way, that guy, Tom Peeler. Why don't you plug your channel in real quick?
Okay. You can find me at sycamorestreetstudios.com. I'll spell it out in full. We try to run monthly episodes of our video game series, Mise on Game, where we break down video game cutscenes on a filmmaking level, because cutscenes are basically movies. So are they made well? And in between, we make short films, we make gaming and movie-related fandom stuff whenever we get a chance. So check us out, sycamorestreetstudios.com. You're guaranteed to have a good time.
Spoiler alert, his channel's actually really good, by the way.
Oh.
All right, MrViperFang, up that way.
Yes, I have a YouTube channel and a VidMe channel. I post Let's Plays and gameplay videos pretty much daily, except for maybe the weekends. I also have a weekly vlog series that I post every Saturday, and over on VidMe, I'm posting my old Let's Plays from YouTube daily.
Crossover content. There you go. It's already pre-made.
Yeah, until I get caught up, and then I can do simultaneous VidMe and YouTube releases.
Nice. Very cool.
By the way, his channel's also really good. Okay, Owlton, let's go up that way.
What was that voice?
It was the
Voice of
I'm
reason.
Batman.
Alright,
I'm Batman.
you're Batman, and what's your channel?
No. That's I was talking about your voice.
No, I know, but go for it.
Oh, okay.
Let's,
Okay. So I kind of have a YouTube channel, Owlton. That's Owlton, and I have like inconsistencies of posting, but I do post videos.
Inconsistencies.
I'm not
Who knows anything about that?
Yeah.
It's not like I haven't uploaded a video in 8 months or anything.
I'm pretty sure Mr. Viperfang has the most consistent upload schedule of anybody
Yay!
here.
Yay, congratulations.
Consistency is very important.
Alright, so what
So
else?
I do Minecraft and stuff, and UHCs and some CS:GO videos.
Okay. Very cool.
His channel's also mediocre. Okay, so
Oh. That voice is very cruel sometimes.
no, it's still good. So make sure you guys check out all of the people's stuff. I of course have a channel also, and you can just click the button down there on Twitch, or if you're watching this on video on demand, you already know about my channel. And if you just tuned in now and want to see it archived, it will be on my second channel, PatNet 2. Just do a search on it or go to my channel, look at channels. I don't know. You'll find something. I'm sure you will. Yeah, so this was a lot of fun. This is going to be monthly. It's going to be the last Friday of every month. So it's going to be at generally the same time, unless we get quicker at setting up. Then it'll be sooner. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. It's been a blast. Goodbye.
Night, everybody. Take care.
Later.
I think Caleb's camera's frozen. Oh no,
Is it
you're
frozen?
You're just sitting so still.
I'm moving back and forth.